Let me ask you something. Who here actually likes rules, restrictions, regulations? Most people don't. Most people hear those words and they hear hard, limiting, constricting, not fun. And especially when it comes to their money. Sometimes we just want to spend, go out and splurge and buy that thing to make us feel good in the moment. But let me flip the script. If you saw a car driving down the road, swerving, slamming on its brakes, speeding up, driving up on the curbs, you wouldn't say they're living free, they're splurging. You'd say that person is dangerous. They're out of control. They're going to hurt someone. And you might even be compelled to call the authorities. Because when people don't follow the road rules, people get hurt and accidents happen. But when it comes to our money, we suddenly think no rules equals freedom. And that's where most people lose financially. Because here's the truth. The rules on the road don't exist to restrict you. They exist to help you get from point A to point B safely. You stay on your side of the road and I stay on mine. Everyone say yes, yes. We all move forward together. The restrictions create order. They create predictability. That everyone move faster because there's structure. The regulations, they create accountability, licensing, regulations, standards. They protect the system so it works longer. So budgeting isn't a prison, it's a road system. And the goal isn't to restrict your life, limit your life. It's to help you get from where you are to where you want to be safely. Because without rules, money becomes emotional. Without restrictions, money becomes chaotic. And without regulations, money simply disappears, like trying to pick up sand that just falls through your fingers. So let's have a look at point number 1. Rules. 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 Nobody is excited about rules. Oh, some people, right? When you hear rules, you think control, limitations, restrictions. But rules, when they're healthy, they don't exist to control you, they exist to give you direction. Because money without direction always follows emotion. And emotion is always expensive. Here's why most budgets fail, because before they even start, most people treat budgeting like it's a math problem. They think, if I just had the right spreadsheet, if I just had the right discipline, if I just had more money, if I tried harder. But budgeting is not primarily a math problem. Budgeting is a decision system. It's an identity system. Because before money moves, a decision has to be made or avoided. Avoidance, eh? And this is where most people get stuck. Poor money thinking says, tell me what I can't spend. Wealth building thinking says, tell me what this money needs to do, where it needs to go. That's a completely different question. One is reactive, one is intentional, one is emotional, and one is directional. Most people secretly believe this lie. If I just had the right app, the right system, the right spreadsheet, if I'm good with numbers. But here's the truth. Tools don't fix your identity. Systems don't fix your direction. If you don't decide first, no system will be able to save you. Let me say this. You can give a broke thinker the best budgeting app in the world, and you can give a wealthy builder a simple notepad and pen. Who do you think is going to win long term? The person with direction? Every single time. So what do rules actually do? Rules answer one question. Where is this money supposed to take me from point A to point B? Not how much can I spend, but who am I becoming? Because you need to set direction before you pick a destination. Sorry, you don't set direction before you pick a destination. Think about a GPS. You don't pick up your app, your maps on your phone and go, where do I go? Which direction do I take? No, you go, here's the destination. I want to go to this address, this location. How do I get there? What's the left, right that I need to take to get there? And that's exactly the same with our budgeting. Rules Rules do that. Rules say, this is who I am becoming. If I decide I'm becoming a peaceful husband, then money has a rule. It reduces stress. It doesn't create it. If I decide I'm becoming a provider, then money has a rule. It builds margin, not just survival. If I'm deciding I'm becoming a wealth builder, then money has a rule. It buys assets, not just upgrades my lifestyle. If I decide I'm becoming generous, then money has a rule. It creates order, not just enough. Now money has direction. Now money has purpose. Now money has a job. And here's what's crazy. When rules are clear, budgeting stops feeling like punishment and it starts feeling like permission, because you already decided where your money's going. You already decided who you're becoming, because who you're becoming is so much more important than money. You already decided what matters most. So the rules aren't here to control your money. Rules are here to make sure your money builds your life that you want. Okay. Number 2. Restrictions. Nobody likes to be told you can't, you shouldn't, stop, not right now. Restrictions feel like something is being taken away from you. But healthy restrictions don't remove freedom, they protect you for what matters. Think about it. Seatbelts are restrictions. Speed limits are restrictions. Guardrails on the side of a mountain are restrictive. But none of these exist to ruin your driving experience. They exist to make sure you get home alive. Yeah? And money works exactly the same. Because here's what most people think. Restrictions equals I don't get to enjoy my life. But real wealth thinkers say restrictions equals I get to protect my future. This is where most budgets get misunderstood. People think budgeting is about cutting life, cutting enjoyment, cutting spending, cutting fun. But real budgeting is about protecting peace, protecting margin, protecting relationships, protecting your future self, protecting the generations that are to come after you. Let me say something that might be a little bit hard to swallow. Most financial stress doesn't come from not making enough money. It comes from the money moving with no boundaries. Because money doesn't, without boundaries, becomes just emotional. And emotional money is unpredictable. And unpredictable creates unpredictable stress. This is why restrictions matter. Restrictions are how you say, not everything that feels good now is good, and not everything that feels bad is bad. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. That's maturity, that's wisdom, that's wealth building thinking. Let's make this super practical. Restrictions in a budget might look like impulsive spending limits, lifestyle caps when your income grows, debt boundaries, upgrade delays. You don't need that new car yet. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because you're protecting yourself. You're building in margin, you're protecting your future. You're protecting your peace when a bill comes, your marriage when that hard conversation comes up, your sleep so you can not worry about your money, your future, your kids, your children. Restrictions protect the version of you said you wanted to become. And this is where budgeting flips from prison to permission, because once your restrictions are set, you can spend what's left without guilt, without stress, without wondering, what's my future going to look like? Is it going to hurt me, restrict me? Unrestricted money feels good in the moment, but usually creates stress later on. Restricted, easy at the front end, hard on the back end. Start with the hard on the front end, it's easy on the back end. Restricted money feels tight in the moment, but eventually creates freedom later. And this connects to something most people don't want to hear. You can't control what you refuse to face. Avoidance. Looking at your bank accounts, looking at the bills, the totals, looking at how much lifestyle creep is happening and costing you. But awareness creates power. It's like back to the app. You have to know where you are to start to get to that direction. If you don't know where you are, you're lost. Awareness creates power. And restrictions turn awareness into protection. It's an old principle that says, count the cost before you build. Not to stop you from building, but to make sure you can finish. And I want you to finish. I want you to finish strong, and I want you to finish well. I want you to build generational wealth. If rules give you money, direction, restrictions make sure nothing pulls you off the road. Number 3, regulation. Because here we have regulation. We think paperwork, oversight, red tape, monitoring, and nobody wants to feel watched. But healthy regulation isn't about control. It's about consistency. It's about accountability. It's about making sure the system that you put in place actually is working. It's a check-in. Think about the road rules again. Rules tell you where to drive. Restrictions tell you how to be safe while you're driving. Regulations make sure everyone is doing the right thing. Actually knows what you're doing, your license, your registration, the roadworthiness checks. Not to annoy people, but protect the whole system so it keeps working. Longevity. And money is exactly the same, because you have good intentions, good rules, good restrictions, but if you never check in, never check where you're up to, money will just start drifting off course again. And this is where most budgets quietly die. They start out strong, woohoo, and then, oh, $20 here, $50 there, one subscription, one life upgrade here, and all of a sudden it's gone, it's blown. Regulations answer that question because it stops it before it becomes a crisis. In terms of money, regulation looks like track your spending, review accounts, look at the totals, adjust when reality changes. Because what gets measured gets managed, and what gets ignored gets very expensive. Let me say something simple but powerful. If you don't review your money will review you, and it usually happens at the worst possible time. This is where awareness becomes control, because you can't control but you refuse to face. Most people don't have good money systems. They have money surprises, and surprises are fun for birthdays, but not for bills, not for debts, not for financial stress. Regulations is how you stay honest with yourself. It's how you catch problems early before they start to create havoc. And this is where connections directly build your wealth. Because most people think wealth building is built by making more money. Yes, income's important, but wealth isn't just built by that. Keeping what matters, building surplus, creating margin, capturing what gets missed. And this is powerful, because once you have rules, they create direction. Restrictions create protection. Regulations create accountability. And now you're ready to set your goals. Not with restriction, not with survival, not with stress. The goal is capturing surplus. Let me bring this home. Most people think budgeting is about control, controlling your spending, controlling your habits, controlling your lifestyle. But real budget isn't about control, it's about alignment. Alignment with who you said you're going to become, because who you're becoming is the most important thing. Because if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Rules give you direction. Restrictions protect what matters most. Regulations make sure you stay on course. And when you have these things working together in alignment, in symmetry, something powerful happens. Your money stops surviving and you start thriving and creating surplus. And surplus changes everything. Sorry, my throat's killing me. Surplus gives you direction, gives you margin, gives you peace, gives you ability to invest, to give, to breathe, to live the life that you want to live. And here's the most truth most people never get told. You don't build wealth when you make more money. You build wealth when you keep and direct what you already have on purpose, for a purpose, consistently over time. It's not to shame you. It's not to pressure you. It's not to build financial guilt. It's about clarity, direction, identity. Because motivation is emotional, but systems are dependable. So if you feel like your money's chaotic, if you feel like money is stressful, if you feel like no matter how much you make, it disappears, you're not broken, you probably just never had a system that showed you how to create surplus, capture it, cultivate it, and compound it. And because this isn't to restrict your life, the goal is to build your life. So when money stops being the most source of stress and starts becoming a tool, that's what helps you live the life God wanted you to live. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped, think about money. Create surplus, because I want you to expand your life. If you don't tell money where to go, it'll it'll vote with emotion. And emotion is expensive. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.